it's called Lunch Stop. And what I did was, I tried to hit a number of the third grade standards. So I hit the number sense, the algebra and functions, and the mathematical reasoning. So there's kind of a variety of activities on this board. Pretty much my instructions start that they can complete all the activities on this board. They don't have to do it in any order. I set it up so they do it independently, so it'd be something they would work on by themselves, or multiple people could be here, but all the activities are independent. And in my thought was that they would have, for the ongoing assessment, they would have a math journal that all of this would be completed in. So they write their answers, they would write their notes, everything in a math journal that would be reviewed by the teacher, by me, once a week or twice a week, whatever I set up as their assessment. So they would come up here with their math journal, and then they would just start working on any of these 5. So I started with, I'll just kind of go through them in order. I put numbers on them. My first one is pizza. And what it is, it gives a list of questions here to do, and then in the envelope, I actually made pizza, and I cut it up so that they could actually take the pizza and put it on the table and make the problems using the pizza. If the pizza's cut into 8 pieces, what is the fraction for one slice of pizza? And I have, if you have one pizza that 3 people want to eat, find the following, and I did different kind of scenarios. And then I took it one step further and asked them what is bigger. So I would ask them, and this is their equivalent fraction. I asked them, is 1/2 or 2/8 bigger? So they can take, and there's 2 pieces of pizza, so they can do with one pizza, do 1/2, and do 2/8 with the other pizza, and they can visually see which one's bigger on the table. For the next one, I did money. So I wanted to hit the fractions and the decimals for them, so I did money. And in here, Secret Service doesn't capture me, but I printed money on my computer so that they would actually have physical money to play with, because the coins were too heavy to hang on the board. So I just kind of made money, and I tried to make it in the right sizes for them so that they could see visually which one, what money actually looks like. But I have questions, like 75 cents is what fraction of $1, so it kind of gives them, here's the decimal, and that show me the fraction, but they're using real money. And there's quarters in here, there's dollars, so they can, count out 4 quarters, and they can also count out 4 quarters in $1 and use that as fractions. And then and the questions kind of progressively get a little bit tougher. You have $4 to spend at the restaurant, but you only spent 3. What fraction of your money did you spend? To kind of get them kind of thinking and playing with money. My other activity is a seating chart. I did a seating chart for the restaurant. And I just kind of, this is to help them with counting and with visualizing the different, different questions you might ask with it. Like using the seating chart to determine the following, versus how many tables, how many chairs. If a family of 12 into the restaurant, what table combinations can they use? So they can kind of look at it and see, okay, how can I get 12 people in a restaurant? And I go a step further, how many tables can seat 6 people? Which you can have 2 answers. You can look at just the tables that seat 6, or the table that also seats 8 can also seat 6. So it kind of gets them thinking critically too about how people can sit. And then, if half the tables are full, how many seats are taken? So it kind of gives them to kind of visualize, here's one thing, tell me the other. Then I have the menu, which is the price of lunch. It's pretty much simple addition with decimals. Like some of the questions, if your baseball team has 10 people on it, if each person eats 3 slices of pizza, is it cheaper to buy a whole pizza or pizza by the slice? So they have 2 problems to figure out, so they can kind of compare and contrast. Over here I have dessert, which is another fraction problem. So I took a Hershey's candy bar. I have a whole one. It's not a real one. And then I have little Hershey pieces, so they can figure out fraction additions. So they can actually use this as their model. They can add 2 12ths plus 4 12ths. So it's using it in the actual 12 pieces it's in, and then I bump it up and make it more equivalent. So what's 1/6 plus 2/6? So it gives them the ability to take their candy bar and say, now what would 1/6 look like if I know what, it makes them kind of challenges to keep going higher. And then my last, kind of the way that I did my assessment was to do a reflection. just kind of have them write like what their favorite activity was, what they learned, and write it in their math journal. And then if they finish this before it's done, one of the instructions up here is they complete it, then they're to take one of the manipulatives and try to make some of their own problems in their math journal, using either the pizza or the money, or even the menu, like write their own math problems. And then once they finish everything, they would just take a sticker and just put their sticker up here for which one they finished, in whatever order they finished.